started. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back, everyone. Today marks day 6, the final day of our Knowledge Bites series, and what a beautiful journey it's been. For the previous few days, we've been celebrating International Coaching Week 2025 with ICF, International Coaching Federation. As trained ICF coaches, coaching isn't just what we do, it's how we live, grow, and serve. And at Inspiration Station, we believe in the power of learning, mentoring, and transformation. So, celebrating this week has been a must. Yesterday, we had an incredible practical and empowering session on using the business model canvas to set up your coaching business. It was done by Tessa and Rania, one of our Station team members, and it was a session full of golden nuggets. If you missed it, no worries. It will be uploaded soon on our YouTube channel, and inshallah, we'll be sharing the link in community as well. So now, today, we're closing the series with something gentle, grounded, and personal mindfulness. How to awaken it, how it can support your inner well being, and how it can help you with every role you play. Now, before we begin, let's do a quick check in with you. If you had to describe how you feel right now in one word, what would it be? You can write it in the comments or you can unmute yourself and let us know. Take, let's start with you. What is one word?
I think uh, confused.
Okay. Any other answers coming in?
I think I want to say frustrated and overwhelmed.
Okay. Works. All feelings work. And that is the simple act of checking in with yourself. It's the first step into mindfulness. Just pausing, noticing without judgment. And since this session is all about mindfulness, time to time we will be constantly reminding you to check in on yourself. Zakia, please let's begin. What's the first question we want to dive into? Oh yeah, let me ask you.
Okay.
When you first discovered mindfulness, what shifted for you personally?
So, Ikra, the first time I remember I discovered about mindfulness was way back in school. We used to have yoga sessions, and I kept remember every time I was reminded during our sessions, calm down and stop. And it felt so strange at that time because we were teenagers, and we didn't understand what it means to calm down. It did not make sense, and I was like, what is he even saying? But then I think over those years, those words have been so deep inside me that I feel like, what's the hurry? Why can't I just stop and take steps which are smaller? And it's okay to, um, you know, not be in a hurry. So it was a big shift, but it was not drastic. It went very gradually over the time.
I love that. And that's a real something many people can relate to in one, like, yes, we are rushing, but then I feel like even if people are not aware of the mindfulness concept, time to time we do find ourselves either practicing it or preaching it to others.
Yes, absolutely. So tell me about you, Ikra. When was the first time you found out about it and how did it help you?
I also feel like I've been practicing it for as long as I remember. Um, you know, I remember being uh, so this back takes me back to a very old memory which is very prominent that I remember once I was doing something naughty, something that I secretly wanted to finish off and quickly. And I remember my sisters were coming and I wanted to not let them know what's going on.
Mhm.
So I remember before letting them into the room, I quickly calmed myself down, took a deep breath, then I let them in. And so see, we've been practicing it, and that's what mindfulness.
Absolutely.
We've been practicing it only later. Now, when I've become a coach, when I've studied about it, when I've, you know, learned to be able to convey it to others, I've really understood that all these practices that we have been doing have names, and we know it, we are familiar with it. We just need to educate ourselves properly so we can implement them on the right times properly.
Yeah, when you say that, Ikra, I remember like how, not remember, I feel like how we were made. We have all the knowledge, we know about staying calm, we know about how to be mindful, but it's just life that makes us unlearn all these beautiful practices. When we look at kids, they're so mindful. They are so present in whatever they're doing. They're so there. And that's so beautiful. Looking at kids is like actually looking at mindfulness, walking and talking and doing things.
Hmm.
It's beautiful.
Also, Zakya, I think a lot of people misunderstand mindfulness with meditation.
Yes.
A lot of people do.
Yes.
What do you think?
What do
How
you?
would Okay, yeah. Can I go
Yeah, I think
first?
you tell me first. Yes.
Thank you. Because this is such an interesting topic. I love to talk about this to everybody and anybody who brings up this topic. I think it's a very common belief when you talk about mindfulness. People assume it's just sitting with
Yes.
your back straight and doing the
Yeah.
meditation.
Yeah.
But meditation is just one tool, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Mindfulness is much bigger. It's really kind of a way of living. And just to just to explain it in few words, I would say it's about being fully present in the moment, whatever you're doing. I was watching this reel on the Instagram. Somebody said, worrying about the future or thinking about the past is what is not mindfulness, and just being in the present is what mindfulness really is. So
Yes.
it could be how you listen to someone, how you cook, how you breathe during a stressful moment. It's really just about being aware of your thoughts, your body, your emotions, choosing not to rush them. It's just quite power of presence. That's what I would like to say.
Yes. So much more than what we assume it to be. It's a whole way of living, right? So yeah, this meditation part, people do get confused a lot. It is a part of mindfulness, but it's a very higher degree of mindfulness. So when we start with mindfulness, and we can start by living small baby steps and then go to the meditation part. That should be the goal.
Mm, yeah, I see what you mean. Um, How, Sakya, how would you say, how do you bring mindfulness into your everyday life? And also coaching practice for that matter, that we are coaches and we are talking about this to coaches and normal people. What do you think? How do you bring mindfulness in everyday life?
So, it, I personally bring mindfulness. For me, it has to be very much, I have to tell myself, I have to keep telling and reminding myself that let's be mindful about this, let's be mindful about that. I bring mindfulness. It's not something that I am very, it's not something easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very, I can get I can get to be a very anxious being. Yes. So it's just the opposite of being anxious. So how I bring mindfulness is I try to do things being in the present moment. For instance, I think when I was before this the whole thing, right? What happened? We screwed up with the link and we're like, oh my God, what is gonna happen? It's like, it's okay. It's like, yeah, this is a mindfulness talk. Let's just try to be mindful. Let's just bring it. So yeah, so we have to do this, right? So I think being coaches, we're so lucky because we have the chance, we have the choice
Mm-hmm.
to use these skills. Now, people who are in their everyday life, because they're not, um, they're not, they have so many other things in their life, it's hard for them to get these things into their daily lives. But I think we're so lucky because we know the importance and we have to practice this being coaches, right?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
so rightfully said. Something that comes to my mind when I heard you say this was exactly like we kind of couldn't. We were really, I was really rushing and figuring it out, but I did see you were really calm. You were just saying it's okay, Ikra, not just Sakya, but you were also calming me down. Thank you for that. And
Anytime.
yeah, you put it very beautifully.
Now, I want to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
what can people expect from the workshop that we're going to do?
Oh, okay, we're already getting there. So yeah, one of the things that we wanted to mention is this is just an awareness session, but we have worked together for a detailed workshop that inshallah we'll be sharing soon the details of what we'll be sharing the details soon. Um, One thing that I want to tell is you should not miss it. You should, anybody, even if you're a coach or a mom or whatever your role is, mindfulness is something which is for everybody. And there's no way it cannot benefit any, like it can leave anybody out of, tasting the benefits of it. Whether you're a mom, a leader, a coach, a businesswoman, everything requires mindfulness. So, yeah, we have put together some basic concepts, some tools that you can use, and hopefully, I'm sure this will benefit anybody and everybody who attends this workshop.
Mm. So tell me, what's your best mindfulness practice?
So, one is, so I have two. One is very internal, which I practice myself. One I have anchored on my daughter because, yes, we can do that as well.
You've told
I
me about that. Yeah.
There's another one. Like, oh, maybe I must have told you, yes. So what I was doing lately was I was catching myself in a very bad rush every day,
Mhm.
and I would put that rush on my daughter, as in if we are getting ready to go somewhere,
Yes.
I would say, please hurry up, hurry up. My daughter's name is
Yes.
Anya, for anybody who doesn't know. And I would like just be like, honey, come on, put on your clothes, honey, put on your
Yeah.
shoes, eat this quickly. And I was not happy with that. Knowing the concepts of mindfulness, being a coach myself, Alhamdulillah, I caught myself on time and I, brought it to my awareness and I thought of how can I, not do this, not be in this rush. So I asked my daughter that every time she catches me being like this, just remind me to calm down. So now in a day, once or twice, I always hear her say, Guria, you asked me to remind you to stay calm. So breathe in, breathe out, slow down. That is one of the practices that I'm practicing these days. Another one is this very nice grounding technique. I'm sure you will know it, Zakia, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique.
Yes.
when, especially when, things are not going the right way, you're feeling really anxious, or, you're overwhelmed, or your your emotions are all over the place. I
Mm.
love this grounding technique. How does it works? You have to, um, first of all, you need to breathe in and out. Then you have to name five things that you can see. And again, I do this with my daughter. I did this today as well. So five things that you can see, then four things that you
Four
can,
things. Yes, go on.
things that you can hear,
Yes.
two things that you can smell, and one thing that you can taste or feel grateful for.
Mm.
And while you're doing this, that all anxiousness that was surrounding you, or the whatever you were overwhelmed about, or even in moments of anger, when you're frustrated. I remember one of the participants answered that today she's feeling frustrated. Just doing this kind of grounds you, and it really, uh, all those wavelengths of emotions kind of come into a calm tone. So yeah, this is something I really love and I really like doing. And yeah, I practice this a lot.
That's amazing, Ikra. Especially the part where you make your daughter aware of that come back, mama, come back. It's okay if we're late. So I love that part. And that is a very useful technique for your children also to understand that rushing up is not the way. We need to take our time. It's going to be late if we're late, and it's okay sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah. So these are a few of the concepts, whoever is watching us and listening us, these are a few of the concepts which of mindfulness, which may sound very simple, but at the moment of weakness or at the moment when you need them the most, even these
Mm,
tiny tools come together and become your savior. They can
they
really
do.
help manage your emotions, handle a situation properly, especially for moms.
Yeah.
We need these tools all day, every day. Not just moms, I would
Yes.
also say leaders in, positions where a lot of input is required, a lot of quick action is required. Mindfulness, if you make it your lifestyle, it can really help you shine in every way.
How, when you talk about leaders being mindful, we have come across people who are leaders and they're so much in a hurry,
Mm.
right? And I always thought, what if our leaders or the people we look up to or the people who are in charge start slowing down? What happens then? How does it affect people around them? Because when the leader is at a place where he is trying to rush things, it comes into everyone around him. And we're all in a rush and we're all anxious and we all want to do things regardless of what the result is going to be. So when the leader is mindful and he's in the moment and he's slowing down, we probably would have a generation of people where they're doing things and having, I don't know about the results, but they're doing things not mindlessly. Now, when I look at people around, they're people's, they have so many things to do. And we're doing it. I'm talking about myself. I have so many things that I have to cater my attention to. And I do it. But how many things from all those things are really done when I am present? This was just a thought. We can come back.
No, very, very rightful thought. Like, yeah, this is something that I absolutely agree with. And I feel like it's a constant work in progress, I would say, when it comes
Yes.
to mindfulness, being present in the moment. And though it feels like some not so important to some people, and it's probably because of lack of awareness, because how important it is to be mindfully present in the moment. I feel like when you said the leader being in the rush, it's more because we are just living in the future, because they have works
Exactly.
to
Yes.
next task, or the next meeting, or the next business, or the next work. uh, Bringing the same concept to motherhood, it's the same situation with moms,
Yes.
and I get
Yes.
to like experience it, so I can tell it on first hand basis. I'm looking when I'm feeding her. My thoughts are, I hope she completes the food. I hope she eats and then I'm like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. It's always the next thing that we are looking towards.
Yes.
I think that is what we shouldn't be doing, and that is where
Yes.
mindfulness comes in to, get us grounded and bring us to the present and keep us there. So yeah, that is really important.
Another example that's really used is how many times while showering are we actually thinking about what is the next thing that we have to do? We're not really, for us, showering is like we're just doing it manually, but our thoughts are like, okay, I have to wear this, I have to do this, I have to get this, I have to do that. We're constantly in the struggle of doing things.
Yeah, we really need to slow down. And so these are the reasons that really inspire me to keep going and keep preaching and keep, bringing people to realize how important mindfulness is. I love that we are doing this, Zakia. What do you have to say about the workshop that we have put together, inshallah, which will be coming out soon?
So I feel it's not just enough to know what mindfulness is, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
we can read about mindfulness anywhere. We can get clips to watch on, we can see a movie about it, or maybe a document or something. But how do we actually practice mindfulness? What are the essence of mindfulness? Where does mindfulness come from? What is mindfulness and what is not mindfulness? Now, these are things that we have to sit down and be with a person who has a little experience more than you
Mm-hmm.
in terms of mindfulness. So I think we're bringing that in the workshop. So it's more about connecting with another person and understanding and actually visualizing it and seeing what mindfulness is. So, yes, so that's the workshop.
Yeah. And also, whoever is inshallah going to join us, you'll be walking away with understanding, like Zakia mentioned, the difference between what mindfulness is and what it's not. You'll walk away with being able to manage your emotions, staying calm under pressure, and these all just mindfulness, implementing it and learning these tools. We have simplified it for you so you can, really absorb it, inshallah. These are the things that will help you to help yourself. And that is something which everybody should have access to, and should prioritize for themselves. Also, it's especially helpful for the coaches, as we have a lot of
Yes.
coaches in our community here, because you have to bring that impact for the people that you're working for. You first really need to be present enough to be able to give your best, and that will bring the result that you're looking for in your clients, because you will be fully present. So anyone that is feeling stretched thin and overwhelmed, this workshop is inshallah for everybody, and I would be really excited to see everybody who comes in and see how this impacts them, inshallah.
So I guess we have given out a lot for
Yeah,
people to come and be with us for an hour and a half.
inshallah. Yes, yes, surely. Let us see if there are any one or two quick questions or reflections that anybody wants to drop in the chat, or something, anything that resonated with you or sparked curiosity. And before we are moving towards closing, I want to do one last check-in. And I want to ask you, what is one word or insight you're walking away with from today's session? What is your insight, Zakia?
I, because you shared about the kids, how we keep rushing them. I am taking that. I need to. I get very anxious in the mornings and I
Mm-hmm.
keep telling them, come on, we need to do it. But yes, I have to calm down myself.
Nice. Nice to know. Nice to, inshallah, hopefully this helps you and, hopefully we be able to practice this, inshallah. All right, I think we should close this off now. Thank you all for joining us, not just today, but throughout these past days when we've been doing these knowledge bite sessions. We hope today's session planted a seed in your heart. Mindfulness doesn't ask for perfection, it invites presence. And that is something all of us deserve to practice and receive. So if this resonated with you, we would love to see you inside the workshop, inshallah. Until then, breathe, pause, and be kind to yourself. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Bye bye.